Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial in Photoshop. Today we will be learning how to make an architectural layout in Photoshop. Now, before everything or before we start, as you can see guys, in the work file here we have some imported files from AutoCAD in addition to some shots and the concept picture, two skies and two elevations, okay, in addition to some text over here. Now, before we do anything in Photoshop, before we try to design our layout or our sheet, you have to bear in mind one thing, guys. Someone said that you have to imitate before you innovate. So before every single thing we will go and check some architectural layout, some similar designs, some other posters, okay, in order to gather a couple of ideas to make one clear image in your mind. Then you go and apply this process within your project, okay? So the best resource you can count on is the Pinterest. You can go to pinterest.com and search for architectural layout or architectural poster etc, guys. As you can see, I have a group of some posters over here. I can just you can't imagine how many ideas are there. So all you have to do is to get or to search for the suitable one and imitate it, okay? Apply it to your project. Okay, that's enough for this one. Now let's go to our file projects. As you can see, I have already chosen a poster. Now, whenever you choose an idea, you have to make sure that the elements of this poster are similar to your project elements, okay? Let's check this one here. We have a background, a sky, okay, a perspective, some plans, elevations, in addition to another perspective, eventually some other shots, okay? Now, I already have prepared some files for you guys to work on and to try it out. Now, all you have to do is to follow me step by step. Now, before we kick this off, we have to create a new sheet, okay, with some certain values, some certain scale, for example. Now we have to hit Ctrl N to add a new document. I am going to work in this area here with the width. I will be choosing 90 centimeters x 110 centimeters. The orientation is vertically. As you can see, the resolution is 55. As we mentioned before, the bigger the paper or the bigger the sheet, the smaller the resolution. The smaller the sheet, the bigger resolution, or the more resolution. Now, the unit of resolution is always set at pixels per centimeter, okay guys, don't forget this. This is very important. Now I will hit create, and here is our sheet. As you can see, a new layer, a new sheet. Now, one thing to notice guys, there are rulers around my workspace, okay? The shortcut of rulers is Ctrl R. Whenever you hit Ctrl R, the rulers disappear and appear again. Now let me zoom in. Now the first edge of this sheet is just right on 0, okay guys, the other side is on 90. So these rulers are very very accurate. Okay, they never go wrong. Okay, we're done. Ctrl 0. Now before we start, one thing you have to do is to change this background. Okay guys, now this one is actually not really good, because whenever you drag it, you notice that there is an empty pixels over here, so we don't really need to go there. All you're going to do is to add some background using solid color. Go with white. Actually I always choose off-white, then hit OK and delete this one. Ctrl G and BG for the background. Okay, amazing. Now how can we imitate our poster? All you have to do is to drag it there, place it on the corner, now scale it, and just like this. Okay guys, hit enter. That's it, that's everything. Now one thing really amazing about rulers is you can drag a guideline. Okay, you can create a guideline. You just need to go to the ruler over here and click using your mouse, then drag, and you'll see that there is a guideline appears in your workspace. This guideline is unprintable. Okay guys, it doesn't appear in your prints. Now I will be placing 2 guidelines here. That's it, just to separate these 3 sections. Now the first section is a picture, okay, with a sky on its background, so let's leave it to the last step. Now the second section is a totally white area, so I will be adding a white layer over here. I will add some new layer, choose or pick the marquee tool, select this area. As you can see, the selection snaps to these guidelines. Okay, now solid color and choose white or off-white maybe. Okay, the last one is almost gray, so I'm also selecting this area, adding a new solid color, gray. Amazing. Ctrl D, and that's it. That's everything. Now we don't really need the guidelines, or no, you can leave them. You can leave them. Just delete the poster sheet. Okay, as you can see that we have imitated the main lines of the previous sheet. Okay, now let's work on them step by step, or let's break it down and starting from the very left side. Now we need a sky background in addition to a shot over here. Now before we go there, all you have to do is to insert your project elements. Like you have to insert every single thing, organize them in the layer panel. Okay, the layers panel, then start unhiding and start designing your poster. Now I will be grouping these 2 layers. Colors, for example. Okay, great. Now let's start importing. I will be starting with our plans. Okay, so this is the first floor, second floor, and the ground floor. All you have to do is to hit enter. As we mentioned before guys, the scale is not important here because we are learning how to design, not to scale. Okay, so Ctrl G, here are the plans. Going to hide them. Now sections, hit enter, enter, group them, sections, hide the group. Okay, elevations, sorry, to Photoshop, enter, and the group. Great. Now we have those shots over here, the project renders. Also, you will be grouping them, naming the group shots. Here are, okay, we'll leave that for, let me take these two. Now this one is the site plan, I'm going to call it site, and the concept will group it as well. Also our site. Okay, that's amazing. You see how organized we are? Now we will be working on them one by one. Now let's start with the background, with the sky background, as you notice over here. So I have already uploaded for you guys two skies, but why? You have to know the difference between these two, which one we have to reduce, or which one is more efficient to our poster. Now in my case I will be choosing this one because it's more clear and adjustable, and the other one is like kinda I don't really know, but distracting, as you notice. Okay, there are too many elements. Now let's import this one here, place it on the left corner and scale it. Now I'm going to drag this one to the guideline. Amazing. As you can see, there is some empty space. All you have to do is to hold the shift and drag the sky, scaling it to the very bottom of our poster. Okay guys, so don't worry about this distraction, okay, or this distortion, because it's not really important. It's just a background. Okay, so now here is our first part, the sky background. The second one is the shot. I will be choosing some shot from these over here. For example, I will be choosing this one actually. I'm going to place it on the bottom of our poster. Okay, you need to know, or you need to make sure guys, that the two sides of our project appears inside this area over here. So Ctrl T, scaling. Okay, amazing. You can just lift it up a little bit. Awesome. Now what we have to do with the rest of this picture, okay, rasterize, select and delete. We don't really need it. Okay, delete. That's it. Now how can we merge these two pictures together in order to look as one? The first thing is colors. Okay guys, now as you can see that this sky is desaturated. I'm going to do the same to this one over here. Now hit Ctrl U to hue saturation window pop up. Now we will be working on saturation slider. Going to decrease this one. As you can see that its color is fading. Okay, I think that is satisfying. Okay, great. This is the first part. The second part is to fade this edge over here. Now go to this picture or this layer. Now pick the eraser, hit E and set the opacity to 30%. Now all you have to do guys is to, like for example from here, click and drag to the other side. Now move your mouse up a little bit, click and drag, move it up, click and drag, move it up, click and drag, in order to use the fading or the hardness, okay, to fade this picture. Now as you can see, or as you notice, that these two skies has already merged. Okay, now this is amazing. In case you just don't like this difference from here, like between the white and blue, you can add some white touches over here. I can do this by adding a new layer, picking up the brush tool, hardness to 0, and my color is white. Okay, set the opacity to 10%. Now paint just a little bit over here, just to fade this one. As you can see before and after, and that's amazing for me. Now the second thing that I'm adding over here is the site plan, actually, because I don't really need to add some text the same way. Eventually we are not literally imitating that poster, so we have to imitate with our own fingerprints. Okay, so I'll go to site, drag this on the top of other layers. As you can see that there are many elements, I'm going to delete everything surrounding and leave my project site plan. So I will be selecting these roads over here. Great. Rasterize, Ctrl Shift I, then delete. Ctrl D to select. Now I will Ctrl T, then rotate this picture here and align it to the edge of this poster. Okay, in my case I'm going to flip horizontally. Okay guys, but you don't really need to do that in your project, because it's going to be there will be some mistake with your directions or with your north sign. So this one is just in case of designing a poster or a project sheet. Okay, now amazing. Let's move to the other section, which is the middle one. Okay, let's go to plans. I'm going to unhide plans. As you can see that let me select them all, Ctrl T, and drag them here. Okay, they are a little bit bigger than this area, so I'm going to scale them. Okay guys, and let's hit enter. Now I will be moving the ground floor to the top, the second floor, Ctrl T, and move it down like so. Now one thing guys, in case my plans are placed in this way, now how can I organize their center together in addition to the distance between each one? One quick and easy step is select all these layers. Okay, go to V or move tool. If you see over here, there are some couple of icons. They are the alignment icons. Okay guys, now I will be using this one for center. Look at here, as you notice, and we'll be using this one to measure the distance, or to manage the distance between each one of them, and we are done. That's it. Two small tips. Now let's switch on the sections. Ctrl T. Actually, I always place sections at the bottom of my project. Okay, Ctrl T and drag this one here. Great, amazing. I will be deleting this this additional line. Rasterize, then marquee tool, select it, delete. Ctrl D and zoom out. Okay, we're done with sections, plans. Now let's move to elevations. Okay, actually I will be placing elevations on the top of my poster over here, like so, for example. But as you can see, guys, that my elevations are two renders, so they are not really in the right scale. How can I scale them to a right value? Now we have one accurate way is to see, like, for example, or two ways actually. The first one is to scale it from the plan. Okay, I will be placing two guidelines on both sides of my plan. Then try to scale this elevation until it fits between them, just like so. Okay, now this is the first method. The second method is, as you can see, that the section has to be as high as the elevation, so you can use the section high as well. And yep, I guess it's enough and satisfying. Now let's go and check them out. Boom, they are at the same height. Okay guys, now I will be moving this one up here, for example. The second one is going to be right there in the middle area. Amazing, great, that's so great. Now I will be merging these two layers in order to actually by the way, how can I remove these guidelines? All you have to do is to click on one of them, then drag it to where you got it at the first time. Amazing. Now after I merged these two layers, I will be deleting these additional parts. Okay, delete, Ctrl D. Now let's add our landline by adding a new layer, selecting this area, for example. Okay, now solid color and some dark gray to it. Okay guys, now in case I don't want to remove these two guidelines, I want to hide them, all you have to do is to press Ctrl H. Ctrl H hides selection, as we mentioned before, and it also hides the guidelines. Okay guys, now Ctrl H. Okay, now we are so close to ending our poster. Now the last thing is the last section. The right section of this poster is as you can see, shots and additional things. Let's go there and open up our shots. Let's unhide them. Okay, now I will be placing each one of them to the bottom right, or the right bottom of my sheet, as you can see. Okay, great. It's just the same as the poster we are imitating. Ctrl T, scale it, Ctrl H, okay. Now let's scale this one as well. Ctrl T and scale. Amazing, that's very great. That is very great. Now there is one thing left, which is the concept. Now let's bring out the concept to up here. Great, Ctrl T. Now actually I will be placing the concept here in this area, and since we have, like, for example, we have 8 pieces of concept, I will be placing each two on top of the others. Okay, now to do that I have to separate every 2 pieces on a separated layer. Okay, so first thing, rasterize layer. Second thing is to select these two right here, Ctrl Shift J to separate these 2 layers from the original one. Okay, and let's repeat this step, selecting these 2 over here. Let's choose the concept, Ctrl Shift J, and here we are again. Okay, lasso tool is very helpful. Ctrl J, now like so. Okay guys, or maybe the opposite. Okay, that's great. Now let's choose, or let's select all these layers, the center one as we mentioned before, and the distance like that. You see how easy? And it's just so organized. As you can see, the guys, that I have placed them where I noticed that it's well organized. Okay, that's awesome. Now after we have done this all and we reach the finishing steps, now all I'm adding is the text. Okay, first of all I will be adding the title over here. So I'll press T to go to text, hit once or click once in your poster. Now let's see, I will be choosing another line type, for example Bang Gothic. Okay, now this project is called Child Development Center, okay, or Children Development Center. So I will be typing only the C, for example, and let me exaggerate the size of it. Okay, hit enter and move the C here. Actually I will be making it much bigger. Okay, satisfying. Now let's add another text. Child, for example, let me color it with gray. Let's make it smaller. Okay, amazing. Hit enter, then pick the move tool, move this text to here. Now let me complete this sentence over here. Development. I will be only coloring the D color with off-white. Now since it's Child Development Center, so the child and center word have the same starting letter. Okay, so for my case, or in my case, I will be doing this over here. I guess you know what I mean, guys. For example, so it's Child Development Center, as you see, guys, just like magazines. Okay, we are done here. Moving on to other cases, like for this one I will be naming this elevation. Now I will be naming it main elevation. Okay, let me make it a little bit smaller, then go there. And that's all. Okay, now you can do the rest of naming thing to every single element in your poster. The second step that I will be doing is adding some extra texts over here. So I have already prepared some paragraph. Actually, it's not related to our project, but in your case, guys, in your own projects, it has to be. So I will be only copy and paste, but be careful that the line size is or has to be small. Okay, now Ctrl V. I will be selecting everything by Ctrl A, then go to color, make it white. Okay, hit enter. Now let's move this text over here. Okay, great. In my case, or in Photoshop, whenever you copy paste a paragraph or a text from another document, as you can see, it shows or it appears in one line. Okay, so I'm going to edit that. I'm going to go to T or text. As you can see, I will be aligning my text to my site plan as follows. Okay, let me put the crosshair here or the pointer here. Hit enter. Actually hit the middle enter, the one in the middle of your keyboard, because it's going to rearrange your text. Ctrl A. As you can see, the distance between these two rows is very big, so I will decrease it using the character settings from here. As you can see, this A character here, let's press on it. Now we have these two different settings. The first one is related to rows arrangement. Okay, the second one is the distance between each single letter. Okay guys, now in my case I will be only modifying the distance between the rows or lines. Now place the pointer here next to your site plan and hit enter. The same step for each line, as you can see. Now whenever you are done with the text, you can recopy it, or for example insert another one, Ctrl V, and do the same step like so. As you can see, I'm just placing the pointer next to my site plan, so Ctrl V, enter. Okay, that's amazing and satisfying. Now whenever you see a blank space, guys, okay, all you have to do is to copy some text to it, and you will notice that it becomes like more professional. Okay guys, but in this case I will not be copying, so I will do this, for example, because the alignment here is different. Now I will copy this one, just like so. Okay, now it's different. As you can see, it's more organized, more professional. I have some blank space over here. I will do the same thing, Ctrl V, but the color of this text has to be darker. I'll move it down here. Now in your case, guys, don't forget to name this elevation or the plans beneath. For this area I will be doing the same thing, Ctrl V. As you can see guys, that whenever you see a blank space, just add a text to it and it will become more efficient and professional. Okay, for example, okay, that's terrific. We're adding the same text here, only in this area, because I will be writing some title here, for example, project concept. P, now let's go there, and project. Okay, great. And the concept word. Okay, look what I'm doing, guys. I'll be making it smaller, then increase the distance between the letters until it fits with the project word. It's a little bit less. Okay, that's awesome. Project concept. Now that's everything for the poster, guys. All you have to do is to continue naming these elements. In addition to section lines, don't forget them. You can use the brush tool to do it, or maybe you import some section line from AutoCAD. Yeah, that's it. That's everything for our poster. Hope it was enjoyable and useful for you guys. Don't forget to share us our results on our email. You can email us, guys. Another thing, join our Telegram channel to get these files for free, because I will not uploading them in the description. Okay guys, so join our Telegram channel. Its link is in the description below. See you next time and another lesson.